amazing find from Rav Moshe Fainstein Zatzal in Sefer Kol Ram, Bereshis, Daf Pei Gimel. I'm not going to go through the whole shtickle Torah. I'm going to tell you his punchline. V'chazinon mizeh, we see from this the achrayus of every single person, lahashpia ala cheru, to be mashpia. How do you say mashpia? Influence other people. V'lo rak leishev v'dalar amoisav, and not just to stay in your little place. I'm doing my thing. No, you're living in a world. The Yitachin, listen to what he says. It's possible sheyeh echad gadol ma'id. You could have a person who's a big gadol, he's a very holy man, and in a time of crisis, v'lo yatzil rak es atzmai, he's only able to save himself in a time of crisis. Chas v'shalom, if something terrible is happening, and he could only save himself kiven shelo yishpia ala cherim, because he didn't influence other people. Ulehepech, on the opposite, shayich, it's possible sheyeh harbe anoshim, you could have many people she'enam kol kach gedolim, they're not so holy, they're not so great. Aval hishpiu al harabim, but they influence the masses. Umemelu schusam, and therefore they have a merit. Their schus tatzil hatzibor b'shas hagzera. It's unbelievable. Like Rav Moshe Fainstein could be a gadol adar, right? And you could have somebody that feeds the homeless and is taking care of people, and that person can have a better effect at a time of gzera to save more people. That's what he's saying. Person can be a gadol adar, but if it's just his own greatness, maybe he could save himself. But in a time of gzera, there are people who are not so great, but they are mashpia on other people, and therefore they have a schus, and their schus could save the tzibur b'shas hagzera. Unbelievable. Fascinating. He says, therefore, every person has to make sure that aside from working on yourself, so you're going to have your schus, right? Every person has to make sure to be mashpia, to influence people around them. That gives them more power in the time of a tzara. Gives them more ability to break gzeras in a time of gzera, and it makes Klal Yisrael much stronger. Much stronger. And he says it's true. It says first kshoit atzmecha v'achar kach kshoit acherim. It's true, first fix yourself and then fix other people, he says. But it says kshoit acherim. But after you work on yourself, he says, but then you have to go ahead and fix other people. But he says there are people who they don't fix themselves, they're not so great, but they're mezakeh the rabbim, they are mashpia on the rabbim, and in a time of gzera, they're the people who could save the most amount of people. Because somehow gzeras work that way. It's so mind-boggling. You would think the greater the person, that he could be about the gzeras. He says, no, it goes by the greater the influence you have.